Usually we cover only a short portion of the learning of Chok Israel for each day. But today, as we just concluded actually the class, I'm going to do like a quick review of what we learned in Chok Israel today, the various parts. So first we started with reading some psukim from the portion of the Torah for the day. And part of the psukim here referred to the idea that when we plant a fruit tree, that we cannot eat from the fruits in the first 3 years. The first 3 years after the tree is planted, we are to refrain from eating the fruits. Then we went on to the Navi, and we read psukim from Yechezkel. And what is done in Chok Israel is the Haftarah for the week is split amongst the days of the week, so that each day certain psukim are read from the Haftarah, and finally on Friday the whole Haftarah is read. Then we read from Ketubim, which was in the book of Proverbs, and some of the psukim here referred, like for example, the first pasuk was Nefesh Seve'at Avus Nofet Ve'nefesh Re'eva Kol Mar Matok. For a soul that is sated, that is satisfied, even things that are sweet is going to trample over. When a person is hungry, even something that is bitter is taste as if it was sweet. Then we went afterwards to the Mishnah. The Mishnah spoke about in animals what are the various aspects that would make an animal terefah. Terefah, that you're not allowed to eat it. And the first Mishnah gave the various subjects that could make an animal terefah, like if the lungs were pierced, or there was a piercing in certain parts of the stomach, different type of things that would make an animal, even though it was a kosher animal to start with, let's say it was a sheep or a cow, and even if it was slaughtered perfectly according to halakha, once the organs are checked, and once it's checked in terms of certain 18 different types of things that will make an animal terefah, and if it has one of these things, we will not be able to eat it. The Mishnayot then spoke about different types of situations that would make the animal or the birds, the fish, what fish is kosher. As we know, fish that has scales and fins are kosher, and that don't have those are not kosher. Then the Gemara spoke about how in eating a person has to refrain, even those things that are kosher, let's say kosher meat, of course a person can eat, but to do it with moderation, and also to do it according to his budget, not to overspend more than he can afford. And the Gemara concluded that a person should teach his children not to accustom themselves to meat and wine. In other words, not to splurge in terms of the food, but to eat with moderation. Then the Zohar spoke afterwards about the great value of learning Torah, and it says that when a person says words of Torah, a word of Torah that is a person says, articulates, it goes in the world and goes up, and above it creates a tremendous awakening, if you wish. It says here, and it's crowned with a holy crown. So as we say words of Torah, it is not just something that is simply words that are being said. It has an effect in the heavenly spheres above. Then we learned in the halakha psuka, when a person that needs, of course, has obligations to his wife, and what is the minimum in terms of even food that he has to provide for his wife. And there is a listing that goes here of what are the minimum, and it goes based also on the place where they live, what is customary, and this is only for a person who has limited means. But if a person is wealthy, he will go according to his wealth. He would be obligated to give her, even if needed, like several meat dishes, etc. It goes according to his financial status. And goes even like when a Kohen he provides food for his wife. Is he giving her all of it terumah, that she has to be even more careful in terms of to keep it in kedusha, that it doesn't become tameh? And he concludes by saying he should give her half terumah and half chulin, not to impose on her undue work to be very careful in terumah, not to get it tameh, but he gives her half terumah and half chulin, which is not terumah food. Then the Musar spoke about the importance of pursuing chesed ve'emet, of pursuing kindness and truth. So this was an overview of the various aspects, and of course I made it very short, but each day Chok Lisan is a beautiful set group of teachings that covers the Torah, Nevi'im, Ketubim, Mishnah, Gemara, Zohar, Halakha Psuka, and Musar. Baruch Adonai le'olam, Amen ve'amen.